And welcome back on this week's segment with Sheriff Bob Goldsmith. We talk about the department's hiring process, and it's a lengthy one.
Okay,
Plus, we also touch on a topic you all asked about, and that's crime. Here's a look at our conversation. All right, we are back with Tippecanoe County Sheriff Bob Goldsmith for the third Sunday in a row.
Yeah, it's becoming a habit, man. I like it.
And you're enjoying it so far.
I am. It's a great opportunity to have people like we were just talking about see the other side of myself and realize that their sheriff's approachable and
yes.
and we're transparent at the sheriff's office, and it's a great opportunity to talk about things. And I know a lot of people are watching it because they see me out and about, or they send me messages, and friends send me text messages about it. So it's been a very positive thing, I believe, for our community. And thank you.
I definitely think it's been positive, and I think the community really enjoys it. And just like every Sunday, we have a lot to talk about today. And I love that you all think that I come up with these ideas, but really it's Sheriff Goldsmith that comes up with the things that we talk about. He comes in and I say, well, what are we talking about today? And one interesting thing that you brought up was to talk about the hiring process. You said there are 13 steps.
Yes, we've added a few things since I became sheriff. We just had a testing a couple weeks ago, and one of the individuals that was the test, a friend of theirs, sent me a message and said, hey, did he get hired? Well, there's a lot more to this process, and people don't realize it. And there has to be. We've got to make sure we're hiring a good fit for our agency and a good fit for the community we serve. But it starts with a pre-app. They can go online. Then there's a physical agility test that consists of different things. And if you don't pass one of those at that point, you've been removed from the process. Then there's a written exam later that afternoon. And then a few weeks later, we'll get the results from that. Then they move on to, they fill out an application. Then there's a preliminary background. There's a polygraph exam. Excuse me. There's a FTO interview, which is something we add. So those officers that'll be training our new recruits, they have a say in who's going to be on their team. In the background, I mean, this is something that's important for people to know. And we've been doing this for a while. We dig into social media. We talk to friends and neighbors. Everybody knows the people you put on as your references. Mm-hmm. They're all your buddies.
Yeah. We
want to dig even further and find that person that maybe is not going to say everything about you so positive, but and then figure out, okay, what is that? Is that a personality conflict? Is there something to it? But we want to make sure we're finding the right fit.
A lot of you guys have been watching the segment on Sundays with Sheriff Bob Goldsmith, and you have I would say, popular fan that comments underneath the post a lot. I believe their name is Herman.
Yeah.
And they asked a really important question that you agreed to kind of touch on today, which is crime in the department and how that's affecting the department.
Yeah, so people talk about data-driven policing and things like that, and data is great. It really is. Those are things that already happen, and it may help predict future events. But what I believe in is getting out and engaging the community, talking with them and building relationships. And I think that helps build trust. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt. I think it then helps drive down crime. Going out and pulling people over, driving through a neighborhood too fast. Maybe it's a group of kids or adults that were going to be up to no good, and you just stop 15 vehicles from being broke into. That's what I want my team doing. I think we do a good job of that. I feel by me answering my emails and returning phone calls and setting up meetings with people in the community, when they have a complaint, they know their sheriff is going to respond to them, and I pass it on to the team, and they get out there and focus on those areas as they can. And I think that's driven crime down. I don't have the exact numbers. I was talking to our lieutenant detectives this morning in my office, and we got to talking about crime and everything, and he said, he and a sergeant were just talking about it the other day and said it's down. Wow. In our jurisdiction. I can't speak for the cities, but if you were at the state of the cities and county, Mayor Rosaworski reported that crime's at a 20-year low.
Wow.
But it's down. Our detectives have a caseload that's workable. We're able to do more proactive things. So when somebody says, hey, there's a drug house here, or this is going on there, we're able to drive by and get some intel and work on that. Whereas in the past, it was just, man, you could barely keep your head afloat.
Wow.
But that says a lot about the community, and I'm glad crime's down. I hope it stays down, and I'm glad those questions are asked. You know, ask me what you think the hard questions, and if I don't have an answer, then I'll go find it.
Thank you, Sheriff Goldsmith, for
Oh,
joining
you're
us
welcome.
again for another awesome conversation.
Thank you so much.